Hello, my friends. My name is Darren Gerdes. Here are the three big stories for today. Okay, so it is March 4th, and Defense Forces shoot down another SU-34. This would be the third Su-34 in 4 days in March, and they knocked out 13, I think, in February, and there's a reason that they did. I think I'm going to do an entire video just about that because this is really interesting to understand. The Russians have shifted gears in the way that they're fighting the war, and because they're not using this weapon but using that weapon, they're making themselves vulnerable. And I'll talk about that again shortly. Second issue, Supreme Court in the United States says that Trump can be on the ballot in Colorado. The Colorado Supreme Court went to what seemed to be an extreme measure of saying Donald Trump is an insurrectionist, and because he's an insurrectionist, he can't be on the ballot. But he wasn't tried as an insurrectionist. He was simply, some judge somewhere said he was, and therefore he has been disqualified. Well, you can't do that. You're innocent until proven guilty for the actual thing by the body that's actually prosecuting you for that. Now, if you watch the different news, and I was just watching the news, CNN and MSNBC and Fox News, to see that, of course, in Fox are saying, okay, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. And I think that's the right decision. I personally think that's the right decision. Having done my doctoral dissertation on the Constitution, I'm telling you, I think it's the right decision. Now, there were three, now MSNBC was the one where they're saying, well, this is dark times, and this is the beginning of the dark times, and the Supreme Court was to blame for dark times after Reconstruction, and it's just like that. That's nonsense. Okay, here's the reality of this. If a state can take someone off the ballot at will just because they decide that he's this or that, as opposed to it's a federal decision, then states can individually change the landscape of a federal election, and we can't do that. So it's that simple. Now, three of the justices, the three liberal ladies on the court, were all against it but for it. And what I mean by that is they said, well, we think this is too much, but at the bottom line is, yeah, he can't be taken off the ballot. It's a federal issue. They didn't want to put it just squarely in Congress. Then Justice Kagan was with those other three in a weird way, not with them with what they were saying, but saying as the same kind of conclusion, but it's not quite the same way. But again, it was 9-0, and as far as getting to the nub of it, which is no, he can't be removed. It's got to be a federal measure, and that lies with Congress, or at least with the federal government, not with any state government. Okay, so that's the end of that. Last little bit, Dmitry Medvedev doubles down on Ukraine is Russia. And he said this, and I'm going to just show you this. As for our borders, our president said precisely and succinctly, Russia's borders do not end anywhere. Wow, that's kind of chilling to say that Russia's borders don't end anywhere. So that's pretty chilling, that Russia's borders don't end anywhere. And then the visual that he had behind it, look at Ukraine here. This is what's left of Ukraine when Russia's through with them, and then Poland gets their cut, and Romania gets their cut, and wow. Okay, so that's where we are today. Those are the three big stories. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the likes, the shares, and the subscribes, and thank you for being the kind of person that cares about Ukraine.